Now, I've been hearing a lot from other YouTube videos and other Amazon FBA Facebook groups about how much it really costs to start your Amazon FBA business. I've been hearing from people that say that it costs barely any money to no cost to start. And I just wanted to lay that all out there and break it down for the Prestige fam to actually let you guys know what a more realistic average is to start your Amazon FBA private label business. It is not as low as you think. Let's go. What is up, guys, and welcome back to the Prestige Amazon FBA YouTube family. If you guys are new here, welcome to the channel. My name is Andy. I put out Amazon FBA content twice a week just for the Prestige fam. So if you guys are interested in anything Amazon FBA, definitely subscribe to the channel. And if you guys have an Instagram and you guys want to see Amazon FBA content on Instagram, check out my Instagram. It's at @theofficialandylam. And if you guys have a Facebook, definitely check out Prestige Amazon FBA Mastermind. You can find that in a direct link below. But super active Facebook group, all Amazon FBA sellers. Answer all your questions there, so definitely go check that out. And if you guys are interested in a free 30-minute coaching call with myself, if you guys just want to talk to me, if you guys just want to, conversate for 30 minutes, all you guys need to do is stay till the end of this video and I'll let you guys know how you can be entered into winning that. So Amazon FBA, especially private labeling, is an actual business. There's actual risk with any other business, as does Amazon FBA private labeling. And if you think that Amazon FBA private labeling does not require an initial investment, you guys are definitely wrong. It's definitely not as little as you think, as mentioned. And if it did not require any money to start, I would have not lost thousands and thousands of dollars, especially when just starting out. And I'm not saying that to scare you guys. I'm trying to tell you guys and be transparent with you in terms of, showing you and bringing you along with my journey as I'm scaling my current business. There's many people that still find huge success in Amazon FBA private labeling, myself included, and there's people that find success every single day launching new products. So do not be deterred. One of the biggest and first expenses that I like to mention when it comes to actually investing in yourself and investing in the Amazon FBA private label business is education. Now, I know I've mentioned this before in some of my previous videos, but I strongly and firmly believe that in any business model and anything in life almost, I think it's extremely important to educate yourself before actually investing in a product. So whether that may be investing in your own education before investing in a product, that is completely up to you guys. I'm not telling you guys to go out there and buy a course because there's so many Amazon FBA courses out there at this point in time. It is ridiculous, but a lot of them are fairly similar. I've personally gone through about 5 Amazon FBA courses, but that is just me as a learner. You guys don't need to go through 5. I just thought it was helpful in my perspective to learn from different people, see what other people were doing, see how I could get, an advantage or get a heads up on certain other sellers by learning from other sellers and see what they were doing. And that's just me. That is just what I wanted to do and how I wanted to build my foundation before I built up my business. So far it's been working out for me, and I'm not telling you guys to do so as well. Second point is that you guys are watching this on YouTube, I'm assuming, and YouTube honestly has so much amazing, valuable information on Amazon FBA specifically, and I personally release videos twice a week, as mentioned, so definitely subscribe to the channel if you guys want more content. But definitely a valuable free resource that has, honestly, in my opinion, pretty much almost everything you would ever need to start your Amazon FBA business. Just one of the benefits to actually investing in a course or investing in a mentor is that they have everything kind of laid out for you in a structured format, step by step, so you're not kind of on YouTube looking at how to do PPC and then how to, come up with a barcode or how to do packaging and stuff like that. It's very structured, and I'm not sure what kind of learner are you guys. If you guys want to go the free route, definitely just watch a bunch of YouTube videos, because I still personally do. There's so many things that are changing about the Amazon FBA space that I personally want to address in my videos, and I want to be able to be more aware about. So with that said, if you guys were to go the route of going into a course or buying a course, courses usually cost from anywhere between $500 to $1,000, and I'm going to be listing a few cost breakdowns and a few costs for Amazon FBA to start on average, and I'll be sure to list that down below so you guys can get an idea after I say how much certain things cost. And I'm not, again, telling you guys to go out and buy a course. I just think it's pretty valuable. And there's also mentorship programs that can range between $2,500 to upwards of $10,000, which is extremely on the high end. And I'm not saying that you guys need to go out there and do that as well. I personally do not have a course. To tell you guys, I do have a mentorship program, and that's just how I like to teach students, and it's very limited in terms of my student base because I'm also trying to grow my own business as well as have enough time for each and every student every single day to week. So definitely consider that. Consider educating yourself and before you actually invest in your product. I can guarantee you guys it'll pay off tremendously. The next cost you need to consider is something that you can't really avoid, and something that I find that is extremely necessary, especially when starting your Amazon business and you're new to finding products and stuff like that, and that is a product research software. In the past there wasn't really good ones, especially when I was first starting out, but nowadays I'm sure if you guys have looked on the Amazon FBA space, if you guys have been YouTubing or been around for a while, you guys have heard of Helium 10 and Jungle Scout. Those are probably the two top and two main product research softwares, and they've become all-in-one suite of, they both become an all-in-one suite of tools, and they both have very good information and accurate data. As much accurate data possible. So definitely go check those two product research softwares out. They also include keyword research tools and how to build your listing and launch your products and stuff like that. So it's super useful. I think well worth the money. If you guys are interested in 50% off, I have those discount codes below just for the Prestige fam. I think Jungle Scout's 50% off is super rare, so definitely go check that out as well. And a fee that you kind of can't avoid when, product research software tools, before I skip that, it typically runs you about $50 to $100 a month. It depends on how long you actually buy the programs for. So definitely go check out the discount codes below to hopefully save you guys some money. I think Helium 10 saves you about $50 a month, and then Jungle Scout could save you, I think, $500 if you buy the whole year. So super worth it. Definitely go check it out. But on to the next fee. It's also a fee that you can't really avoid. Amazon, to be able to sell on their platform, to be able to access their sponsored ads and their data and stuff like that, requires you to subscribe to their actual seller platform, which is their Amazon Seller's Professional Plan. And the Professional Plan costs about, I think it's $39.99 per month on a monthly basis, and they bill that directly to your account and the card link to your account. This is kind of unavoidable. You guys can have a individual seller plan, and that's where Amazon basically charges you, I think, about $1.99 or something like that per item that you sell. But if you plan to sell, at least 40 items a month, it's definitely worth it. I personally sell hundreds of items a day, so definitely worth it for me. And with the individual seller plan, you don't actually get access to their ads or their sales data and stuff like that. So definitely consider, and I think it's worth the investment, but $40 a month to get the professional seller plan. So when starting your brand, you want to also consider other fees and other things like creating a logo, having your logo made, creating packaging for your actual products. And this is typically done, or for me, it's typically done off hiring a freelancer off sites like Fiverr.com or something like that. And the cost for this is fairly low. You can typically get a simple logo made for about $5, and that usually gets made for you and sent to you pretty quickly. You guys can also do this on Canva, I believe, and that could be potentially free if you guys are artistic. I am not artistic at all. So I typically have somebody do this for me, and kind of I send them my vision for the actual logo, and they kind of spit that out for me in 24 hours to a few days. I find that worthwhile, but you guys are welcome to use other softwares if you guys are art savvy. In terms of packaging, you guys are more than welcome to put this together yourselves as well. Most manufacturers will send you a template for you to kind of work on, but what I personally do is I grab the template from manufacturers and send that directly over to a freelancer who has experience putting together packaging. So that's what I usually do in terms of packaging, and that usually costs anywhere between $20 to $50 to $100. So I'll be sure to leave these costs down below on average, but about $5 for your logo, and say 20 to 50 bucks for the actual packaging design. But the next cost, and probably the biggest thing that you probably need to worry about, is the actual inventory for the product you're going to source. And this is probably the biggest cost when it comes to Amazon FBA, because inventory is actually what you're going to be selling. So it's going to be your cost of goods sold. A lot of people say that their initial startup cost for Amazon FBA is lower or higher because of this factor, because of this cost, because there's many ways to go about this. And I will first start out with the way that I recommend. This cost is highly dependent on where your product research takes you, by the way. So if your product research takes you to a very small product that's light, shipping doesn't cost much, but the actual product is also very cheap, so it costs you like $1 to source. Your initial inventory cost, if you were to buy 1,000 units, is say $1,200 for 1,000 units and shipping or something like that. But on the other hand, if your product research took you to a product that was $10 a unit, and you bought 1,000 units of that, that would cost you for inventory about $10,000 without the cost of shipping. So that is where a lot of people kind of go in different directions in terms of how much Amazon FBA costs. Now, I say 1,000 units. This is also a big factor in how much it actually costs. I highly recommend 1,000 units. I personally do 1,000 units or more, depending on how confident I am in the product. And I also highly recommend 1,000 units to my students. But the reason why I recommend 1,000 students, and I mentioned this in another video before, is that 1,000 units is typically enough to get you through a product launch, meaning whether you're doing giveaways or you're doing 50% off coupon codes and selling on the Amazon platform to do your launch that way. It's typically enough to get you through a launch, and also let you know whether or not the product has longevity, has a chance to be successful, or is already successful and you want to begin your next order. Usually the 1,000 units is enough to last you until the next shipment comes in, whether that's an air shipment to maintain that inventory. But one of the things that I hate most about selling on Amazon is if in the case that I ever sell out. And one of the biggest reasons that I hate this is because your listing ranking begins to drop. All that work you put in up front to launch your product is kind of gone. Yes, you build that keyword ranking, so when you do get inventory in, it's not as hard to rank your product, but that's just something that I hate to do. Waste time, waste money, and something that I try to avoid for anybody that I can recommend to invest in that full 1,000 units upfront to start their business. Now, there is, again, other ways to go about this and other strategies. Some people recommend to order lower volume or lower inventory, lower amount of units upfront to kind of just test the waters for the product. So instead of ordering 1,000 units of one product, and instead you want to be testing 3 products, you can order 1 to 200 units of those products, and the initial order cost for this inventory will be much lower because you're ordering lower quantity. So you can definitely go about it that way. If you don't want to invest in the initial full 1,000 unit order, you can do 500 units and test it out that way, but completely up to you guys. I will consider the average cost based on 1,000 units, and I'll put that down below as well. Now, along with inventory, you'll also need an inventory identifier. And when I'm saying inventory identifier, I'm talking about a UPC code, which will then turn into an FNSKU code on the Amazon side, but you do need to buy a UPC code. Now, a lot of people have different ways of getting UPC codes. One requirement from Amazon is that it's a GS1 UPC code, and you can find these UPC codes on the GS1 site. You can find them on sites like FBA Barcodes, and a lot of people in the past have actually bought their barcodes on eBay. One of the main differences for these different sites is the price, and also whether or not the barcodes are actually legit. A lot of people are super paranoid that when they buy barcodes off of eBay, for example, that they're all fake, that they're all used, people are going to take their products and stuff like that, and that's completely up to you guys. eBay honestly sells, I think, barcodes for pennies, whereas FBA Barcodes sells barcodes for a few bucks, and then GS1 site is, a lot more expensive, but some people find it most people find it worthwhile and worth the investment if they're able to securely have a guaranteed barcode. So completely up to you guys. But a barcode is definitely something that you need to list a product on the Amazon platform. Now, the Amazon game has changed a lot, but one major thing that has changed is the launch strategy of a lot of new products. Before, people would just kind of use programs and softwares and launch platforms to actually launch their products, so they would pay the launch platform to give away a bunch of discount codes and stuff like that to hopefully rank your product and rank your product for keyword and sales rank, but that really isn't the case anymore. Sponsored ads and PPC is super reliant and a big factor in launching your actual products. So I definitely consider this as a must when launching your product. Some people will still consider it as an optional type of thing, but in my opinion and what I teach, it's definitely not, and definitely still a useful tool and worthwhile in launching your product. It can be a little expensive in the beginning, but over time you'll begin to optimize and your ad spend will become more efficiently used. But to start, I still definitely recommend, you'll be needing to use a combination of Facebook ads as well as Amazon PPC. This is just my personal launch strategy. Other people have different launch strategies, but I will consider this to be about $500 additional within your first month or two just to be able to launch your product. And this is a huge factor that's come into play nowadays, and especially going to 2020. Now, there are other costs that you may want to consider. I personally do not consider this as mandatory, especially when you guys are just starting out. But you guys can look into things like creating a business entity, which may cost you, depending on where you are, ranges from a few hundred to close to $1,000. And then also creating a trademark, which you will definitely want to do for Amazon Brand Registry. It's definitely worth the investment, and it'll eventually help with lessening the stress that you have in terms of hijackers and stuff like that. But definitely this is an optional thing that you can do later on. For example, when you find your business to be profitable, this could cost you for the entity and the business trademark, about $1,000 to $2,000, and that's something that you need to keep in the back of your mind for later on. But again, optional. So in total, that brings the total average to about $6,000 to $7,000, and again, I'll put that all down below, and I'll leave descriptions down below for that, so you guys can definitely look over that in the description as well. But I did not make this video to scare you guys. I just wanted to be transparent with you guys and let you guys know how much it actually costs to start an Amazon private label business. It does not cost $0. It's not a low investment. Some of you might consider $6,000 to say $10,000 a very low investment, and for to be honest, for an actual business, it is on the lower side of investment. People are just still super skeptical because it's an e-commerce business, but honestly, so much of sales in general is gravitating towards e-commerce. So such huge potential. I mean, I just wanted to lay it out for the Prestige fam and break down all the costs that may be involved that you guys need to be concerned about, especially when you guys are just starting out. So hopefully you guys found this video helpful and not scary. I know if you guys are, just trying to make a couple extra bucks, $6,000 to $10,000 can be a big chunk to invest in something that has no guarantee, but again, nothing has a guarantee. But hopefully if this video was helpful for you guys, be sure to drop a like if you guys found it useful and you want more content. Be sure to consider subscribing. If you guys are interested in that free 30-minute coaching call, all you guys need to do is like this video, comment down below Prestige Amazon FBA, and subscribe to the channel. If you guys found that useful already, you guys would have already done that. But thanks again for staying until the end of this video. I truly appreciate it every single time you guys do. Helps out the YouTube algorithm, and I just love to see you guys entertained throughout the video. So thank you guys again, and I'll catch you guys at the next video. Peace.